Hello, I am your host, Rick Etz, and welcome to the Jimmy Fallon Show. Mr. Fallon, I'm sure, wishes that he was here tonight because we're going to have an awesome blast of a time with our guest, Snoop Doggy Dogg. Welcome, Mr. Doggy Dogg. How are you?
Great, man.
Alright, so let me level, right? I've heard that you know a thing or two about joints.
You right about that?
Alright. And we all know what kind. So I've actually, done some research on, Wikipedia and all that. And
That's a good source right there.
thank you. And I found out that there are several different kinds, right? But more importantly, every single bone in your body, besides your highway bone, which is like right here, is a part of a joint, right? All right. So the first kind that I read about were synovial or synarthroses. They're one of the joints that you can't move in the body. So like the lining in your, not the lining, but like the joints in the fragments of your skull, right? So what are these things composed of? Like how do they work? And what other places would you find synovial joints?
Well, you could find synovial joints in all the bones of the limbs.
Mm-hmm. All right.
At least I'm going back to California. See ya.
All right. I got more questions though. So on the subject of synovial joints, tell me about them. Like, what kind of characteristics do they have?
Alright, so we got 4 distinguishing characteristics of synovial joints. We got articular cartilage,
All right.
fibrous articular capsules, joint cavity, and reinforcing ligaments.
All right. So like a reinforcing ligament would be like the ligaments that make sure that like your elbow joint holds together, right?
Yeah.
Making sure that you're not always dislocating things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
So,
All right. Yeah, it really would.
Yeah.
I know. I'm always dislocated.
Excuse me, Mr. Dog. You need to take your medication.
what medication? What are you talking about?
Well, for starters, Mr. Doggy Dog, you have a sprained wrist from when you got into a slap fight last week with Ice Cube. You also have all different types of arthritis, osteo from excessive repetitive paper rolling with herbs. It's given you bone spurs due to the wear down of cartilage, and that's why your joints crack in a process called crepititis, like Doritos in an empty bag. You also have rheumatoid arthritis, which is autoimmune because you probably got a bacterial infection from something like swimming in a Florida swimming pool. And this has given you pins to become fused in the process of ankyliosis. You also have gout, which surprisingly is not entirely your fault, unlike the other diseases. And it's genetic, so crystals have formed in the soft tissues at your joints and causing extremely painful.
I believe before we were so rudely interrupted that you were gonna tell me about fibrous joints.
Fibrous joints, those are my favorite.
All right.
Those are characterized by being connected by fibrous tissue.
Okay.
And we got 3 types. One would be the sutures of the skull.
Okay. Yeah.
The second type would be syndesmoses, which are found at the distal ends connecting the tibia and fibula.
All right. So up by the ankles, that's straight.
And we got comphoses, which are found between the roots of the teeth and the mandible. And the only movable type of fibrous joints are the syndesmoses.
Oh, okay. That's dope. Okay, I like that. So what about cartilaginous joints? I know that those are like the last kind. So
Yeah, cartilaginous joints. Those can be connected by either fibrous or hyaline cartilage.
all right. Okay.
And we got 2 types, primary and secondary. The primary cartilaginous joints, or synchondroses, those are connected by hyaline cartilage, and an example would be the growth plates between the ossification centers and long bones. And then the secondary can be connected by both also fibrous and hyaline cartilage,
Oh wow.
and those can be found in the manubriosternal joint.
Okay, so besides fibrous, there are also cartilaginous joints.
Yeah,
and,
cartilage.
I know they're probably not your favorite, like fibrous, but you know, I like them sometimes myself, you know, on a Saturday afternoon.
I dig. Well, there are two types of cartilaginous joints. We got primary cartilaginous joints, or synchondroses.
Alright.
And those are connected by hyaline cartilage, and an example would be between the ossification centers of long bones. Those are growth plates in there, and they use synchondroses to connect them. And then we also have secondary cartilaginous joints, or symphoses, and those connect with either hyaline or fibrocartilage.
Alright.
And you would find that in the maniobrial sternum.
What? You don't know the shapes of bones? What do you mean? Let me tell you about this. So we got the Dank Joints, which are flat surfaces like this, and then we have the hinge joint, which are cylinders. Then we have a pivot point that has a round end that fits in the sleeve or a ring of a bone. And then we have a condylon joint that's an egg-like shape, right here. But wait, there's more. There's more, friend. There's a sandal joint that has an articular surface that has both concave and finally we have a bond socket, which is a spherical head that fits into any round socket.
It's basically a mobile you just hit. I'm $1 million mobile. Right?
Your test results are in, Mr. Doggy Dog. In addition to having both of your femurs broken, which, quite honestly, it's a medical miracle that you can even stand the pain you must be in. Either that or you must be so doped out of your mind. You also have sarcoma. Now, there are a few treatments that we can use. For your two broken femurs, we can use electrical stimulation of the fracture site by inducing both positive and negative charges into your legs. We could also use ultrasounds to speed up the repair of fractures via daily exposure to the ultrasonic waves.
That's some baby stuff. Nah.
We could also try a free vascular fibular graft technique, which is where we take parts of your fibula and then graft them into the affected area. Now, this usually only works on children because of its success with growing bones. We could try self-extendable endoprosthesis or self-extending leg implants. But again, this wouldn't really apply to you.
You call me a child? I'm an OG, self-made billionaire.
Well, and finally, what I think would be most likely at this point to help grow back your femurs, and radiation would help with the sarcoma, but you know, there's nothing you can do for that. I would recommend vascular endothelial growth factor injections, which is a protein that stimulates your blood flow, helping, you know, grow back your bones. Or even bone substitutes. We can take bone tissue from cadavers or use a synthetic material to fill in the bones. But this looks kind of bleak, Mr. Doggy Dog. I'd give you like 6 months to live, even with all these treatments.
Nah, dog, forget that. You don't know what I've been through in these streets. Growing up in Compton, nah, you don't know about this. You
Okay.
know nothing about this.
I do know nothing. Just 4 years of
You don't
medical
know
school.
anything. No, other than
Okay, goodbye, Mr. Doggy Dog.
you need a class in street science.